What is going on, world? Welcome back to another episode of the best podcast on the planet, the League Report podcast. Guys, if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, do not forget to turn on your notifications. Don't forget to follow us on that platform. You obviously are, because I said if you're following us to do all that. So turn your notifications on, download new episodes. If you're on YouTube watching us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a comment, leave a review on Apple and Spotify. Also, don't forget to leave a rating. All of that good stuff. So yeah, really excited about this pod. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of crazy storylines. We had all the playing games got out of the way the last couple of days, some entertaining ones, some shitty ones too. And then we had the Lakers exit interviews, which Blake brought up today in the chat. So Blake, fill us in on some of the activities that occurred at the Lakers exit interviews this past week.
The main one I wanted to talk about was Russell Westbrook and his inability to take responsibility for how bad he played this season. First, I think the biggest one I saw was he kind of passive aggressively blamed Frank Vogel. He said, I don't know what I don't know what his problem with me was when Frank Vogel, I was watching Undisputed and they were talking about how Frank Vogel was his biggest supporter. That he fought with what's her name, Jeannie Buss and Pelinka to keep him in the lineup. And then Russ says that I don't know what his problem was. And then just going back all over the season, bro. He talking about I didn't have any expectations coming into the season. The passive aggressiveness with the reporters, just basically his inability to take responsibility for his horrendous play this whole season.
Some big words you use right there.
But because dude, I'm listening to it and I'm like, is he what is wrong with him? Because I don't understand how you can literally, because I think them exit interviews 10 minutes for each player or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He sat there and just deflected blame for the whole time. Like, oh, well, if I did this, if I did that, it's just a whole lot of, I didn't do anything. It's everybody else's fault. I was amazing. And the point where he wasn't. I'm not saying he was their worst player, but he wasn't their best player either.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, that was the story of the whole season. I think every Lakers interview this year pissed me off. You know what I mean? The whole year it was, like you mentioned, the lack of accountability. Then I keep saying it, the Anthony Davis stuff, when he would get out there and talk, it would be after every second loss in a row, we suck. And then they never go and get better, you know? So that it was, I think it felt like superstars who were used to kind of having their way, not having their way, and not knowing how to take responsibility and accountability for themselves. What it really felt like, guys who just were used to being on the top of things, and then when stuff got difficult, it was just implosion. I mean, even with, you talk about the fans, fighting with I know the fans talk shit, but fighting and the talking shit with the fans, you don't see that a lot on a game by game basis when you're the home team. It's not normal where the home team is talking shit with the fans so much. You know what I mean? Yeah. So half of it, we can blame the media or whatever, or whatever you want to do. But as Blake, you mentioned, at some point, bro, you got to take responsibility for your shit. You didn't average 20 this season. You're Russell Westbrook and you didn't average 20. I'm the biggest Westbrook fan ever. And you're Russell Westbrook and you didn't average 20 points a game. You know what I mean? So all of that stuff, man, you got to take responsibility for it at the end of the day. I don't care that guys were injured. That excuse means absolutely nothing to me. If you're left with Russell Westbrook and LeBron as your 1 and 2, yeah, that's not the same as Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, and LeBron, but you should be able to be better than an 11 seed. Point blank, period.
A whole lot better.
Facts. So, horrific stuff on the part of Russ. This is one of the times he's kind of always been kind of an asshole when it comes to the interview thing. But
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I ain't mean to cut you off, but I really don't know why he's always been an ass. If he plays bad, bro, he does not like interviews after the game. He hates them. Yeah.
Now, granted, I would say this. After you have a bad game, you wouldn't want to talk to the media. I get it. But still. And it was funny before, but when you it was hilarious. I remember.
Well, it's hilarious.
Yeah. Remember him and Pat Bev were doing it back and forth that one year? But it's funny, but at the same, for this year, it was bro, some of this you're gonna have the answer for. And you're an athlete. You're gonna talk post game. people are gonna have questions about your bad play, bro, and it's not everybody else. I agree, Vogel wasn't the best for the job, but you had opportunities to play a lot better than what you did, and you did get it the last little part of the season, but it was a little too late at that point, So I Russ, this ain't good look, bro, and I'm the biggest Russ fan in this whole chat. Y'all know it, so.
Yeah. It's like you all said, I'm agree with you all. He was blaming, it's like he was blaming Frank Vogel for him hitting the side of the damn backboard or him breaking shots. It's so many bloopers from him this season.
Yeah.
It's concerning when you're supposed to be such a great player, which he is. He just had a terrible season. Yeah. When you have a blooper reel and it's like 10 minutes. Yeah. 10 minutes long. That's like a long time. Yeah. I think it was against the Suns. That was like one of his worst games I ever seen him play. When in Phoenix, he bricked every shot he took. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I think that was the problem with this whole team. They didn't take accountability. The whole team didn't. As a team, it was too much finger pointing. Worried about what that person wasn't doing, and that other person wasn't worried about what they were doing wrong. They was pointing fingers at everybody else. And I think that's what Russ was doing the whole season.
I think there's a couple other guys doing it too. I love LeBron, but LeBron does that a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And No, I don't mean cut you off, but I'm saying LeBron did that like because he doesn't play defense. I'll be the first person to tell you. Nigga don't get back on defense at all. So
I don't know. I kind of question. I may be wrong here, but I kind of question LeBron's ability. There's really nothing to question when it comes to LeBron. He's obviously, you can argue easily, he's the best player in the history of the game. You can argue it. You know what I'm saying? But you can argue. But I don't want to get into that. But what I am saying is, I've kind of been iffy about his relationship with younger players over the last couple of years, especially on the court. You know what I mean? There is a lot of finger pointing. There's this pressure that those guys have to kind of live up to. And granted, I get it. You're playing with LeBron. You got to be able to live up to those expectations. But at the same time, there may be some things on his part he could have done better at when it comes to playing with those young guys. Like you hear about it this year. Yeah, you hear about it this year, mid-season, Malik Monk kind of calling out, the veterans were always pointing fingers at them whenever they were fucking up. But then the veterans.
I don't want to say that's some. I'm trying to figure out a nice way to kind of
hogwash. Hogwash.
Yeah. That's because that's weird, bro. Yeah. That's very weird. As the veteran leaders, you're supposed to be taking the reins, especially people like LeBron and Russ, instead of you pointing the fingers at the young dude. So I don't make no type of sense.
That's how the league works, though. They not the only team that do that. A lot of teams do that, especially if you notice great players that want to win now, most of them don't want to play with them young guns. Yeah. Because they want somebody that can help them win now. They don't feel like having to be a parent on the team. Yeah, true. I feel like, I don't know, I could be wrong, but
yeah, that's very true. That's very true. But like I said, at the same time, that's true. It happens to a lot of teams, but it really did look like the Lakers just hit the panic button mid-season and just didn't respond well. And like I said, that's when the finger pointing, because at the beginning it was like, we're gonna we're gonna get it right. All y'all need to chill out. Russ is gonna be fine. Then the middle part of the season, they're kind of like, oh shit, we actually, you know what I mean? That's when shit started kicking in. We're like, oh, we actually could end up sucking the rest of the year. And then I feel like that's when a lot of that stuff started coming into play. And then, in the end, I remember the clip where LeBron, there was a clip this year where LeBron's yelling at Phil Handy. I know they still have a great relationship, but there's that. There's the clip of LeBron yelling at Wenyen Gabriel and all those guys about not coming into box out or whatever. So it was just ugly stuff. An ugly season for the Lakers. It's going to be an interesting offseason. As we said before, we already did a whole pod talking about what they should do with Russ. Well, we never figured out what they should do with Russ. What they could do with Russ, you know what I mean, and all of those guys. But, disappointing.
Send him over to Charlotte.
There's Indiana.
I got a good team, Sacramento.
No Lord,
Sacramento.
So they
ain't gonna give up. They ain't gonna give up De'Aaron Fox. So that ain't gonna work. But that'd be stupid if they do that. God, good Lord.
Yeah.
But it was just a whole bunch of people not taking accountability. Like I said, Russell Westbrook wasn't the only one. I felt like Frank. Now here, I'm gonna be fair with Frank Vogel. I feel like the stuff he was doing with the lineups wasn't him. I feel like Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka was holding something over his head, telling him what to do and not letting him actually coach. That's what I feel like. I feel like they were actually controlling him and not. He wasn't a coach. He was just another person being controlled.
Yeah,
that's why I was about to say real quick. That's why they ran off a lot of these coaching candidates, because when they realized they can't actually coach the team, why would I want to coach you then? If you don't let me do it, if you won't let me run the team how a coach is supposed to, why I'm gonna actually come to the Lakers for what?
Yeah, if you getting hired as the Lakers coach, you got three other coaches with you. You got LeBron, Jeannie, and Rob Pelinka. So you definitely not the only coach.
Yeah,
they go treat you like a player. If you go there.
But has any coach really come in and instilled their system on a LeBron James-led team? I can think of one, and that's Miami. That's in Miami. Eric Spoelstra is the only one I can think of.
And LeBron didn't. You said LeBron didn't like that.
Yeah, he got him 2 rings, but I feel like him and Spoelstra's relationship was just kind of weird. I could be wrong because I always question LeBron's relationship with certain guys, but then he always gives props to these dudes, and he has a lot of respect throughout the league. But yeah, it's hard to come in and implement that system, and so we said it from day one.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah. And that's natural because of his IQ. When you're on the court and you're that smart, it's hard for a coach to comprehend ways. Like LeBron's smarter than most coaches he's had in the basketball sense. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. So, that's just something you're going to have to get used to and manage if you're a coach. So, but like I said, we discussed his ability to manage this team at the beginning of the season. I'm not going to say it was a horrible stint for him because, as we mentioned, he got him a championship. And so a lot of different stuff was thrown at him. Obviously he won't be here. Pretty much he's gone. They fired him officially already. So yeah, he'll be picked up.
How they went about it was kind of weird too.
Yeah.
They reported he got fired. They're firing him. Like, I think right after the game, he was like, "Oh, they didn't tell me I got fired at all." So,
and did you see that they scared off Quinn Snyder too?
Snyder,
yeah. You think about that, and to me, we can talk about all these guys. I hate the front office. I really don't like the Lakers front office. You saw Quinn Snyder. That would have been probably the to me the best next candidate. We know we know Utah's getting bounced in round 1 or 2, and he's going to be out. So you screwed off Quinn Snyder, who was the next best available guy, one of the best offensive coaches in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? That speaks to how bad your front office is, and they can go with talent and all of that. I'll give them credit for this offseason. I'll give them credit for being able to go out there and get Anthony Davis a couple years back. I'll give them credit, but you can't. The front office has such a bad culture, horrible culture. You can't scare certain people off, bro. That's not a good thing. You know what I mean? So
it's just looking like some of the stuff Magic was saying about Rob Pelinka kind of being fake. Remember when he said that 2-3 years ago? I didn't know how I felt about it. I feel like some of the stuff he was saying was definitely true about Rob Pelinka. I don't know if you remember, he was just basically calling him fake. Saying he went behind my back and was telling Jeannie Buss this or telling them I wasn't doing that when I was. It was a whole lot of fakeness going on. That's why it was a lot of betrayal going on.
I don't think he's wrong either. I mean, you got a team like the Lakers. I'll give them some slack. You got a team like the Lakers. You're in the national spotlight almost all the time.
Yeah.
So there's pressure. Okay, what are we gonna do? Because they're always gonna be talking about it. You see ESPN 9 times out of 10, Monday through Sunday. But yeah, they always talk about the Lakers. So
yeah, and it is what it is, and that front office itself can just. I mean, you would think about the Showtime documentary they got going on right now. Like it's basically about the Lakers front office. So it's always been their front office, since the 80s. So it's always controversy going on, in and out. So so it's just weird stuff. We saw it this year. It definitely had an effect on the players, and it's going to affect them moving into the postseason or into the off season. So it's sad stuff, but still, they
going to the postseason.
Yeah, right. That's over with. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with them. I don't really. We did a whole pod talking about their off season and what should happen. I'm just gonna kind of strap up and see what they do. You know what I mean? I don't really.
It's been reports Anthony Davis and LeBron want Nick Nurse. How the hell they go get Nick Nurse and he under contract?
I was just about to say that they ran off Quinn Snyder and now they want him.
It's no. They don't have no draft picks. They don't have nothing. It's no way they can get him. I don't even know why that's been reported.
Yeah. He said no draft picks or no.
And we don't. We basically don't until 2027. I mean, we don't have any. So it's just like, how the hell you go get a coach?
What they got to do with Nick Nurse?
After LeBron leaves the Lakers.
I said, what they got to do with Nick Nurse? You gonna trade draft?
No,
picks?
you can trade draft picks. Remember, that's what they did with Doc Rivers. You can do that.
Word? I ain't. That's news to me.
That's how the Clippers got Doc Rivers from the Celtics. Draft picks.
I had no idea. I feel stupid as hell right now.
You didn't? Oh, you know you can do that in sports? Yeah.
Wow, yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
It's rare. It's rare to happen, but when a coach is under contract and you want him so bad, teams in the past have traded compensation for either cash considerations or just draft picks.
Yeah, you can. Wow, I didn't know that, dude. That is true.
Yeah.
Bro, that's literally news to me. I did not know that shit.
Yeah, I figured you didn't know when you said what's draft picks got to do. I was like, yeah, you can use them.
I said, damn, why I know nothing about that. So yeah, Nick Nurse ain't gonna happen. So then there's the Mark Jackson thing. I don't like that because I don't want to see Mark Jackson be subject to a shitty front office at all. He's too good of a guy, too good of a coach, and too good of a broadcaster. I think I like him as a broadcaster a lot.
Yeah,
I like him much better as a broadcaster.
Yep.
He wouldn't stay there that long. He wouldn't be able to take BS. So it's just like, but I think they were saying Nick Nurse because Phil Jackson, he used to coach under Phil Jackson, so they trying to connect branches and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but it's not gonna happen.
No way he leaves Toronto. He has a whole culture behind him in Toronto. Who were some other names that kind of popped up out of there? We went over Dan Toney. Would you? I mean, I think we may have talked about a couple pods. Would y'all be down for a Dan Toney thing? I like it.
Didn't he coach there before?
2013. But
I remember.
You know, I don't hire people that I fired before. That's just me.
Yeah, he was there when shit was ugly too. So yeah.
Laker Nation. What about can we get Coach Mike? Can we get Coach Mike?
It's still ugly too.
Yeah, you said Mike Brown. They're thinking about Mike Brown. So I don't know.
Also, he coached LeBron twice and they fired him twice. So I don't know if LeBron would want that third time.
Yeah, that is true. So
it's all about what LeBron wants. That's the problem.
But he's the best player. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go look at Portland right now. Everything's going to revolve around Dame. You know what I mean? You go look at Milwaukee. Everything revolved around him. When you're the best player, and when you're the best player in the NBA especially, and when you're the face of the league, shit's going to revolve around you, point blank period. You know? So that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the way things go. You the top.
Almost the way the world works too.
So when you're the top gun, you know, you're gonna get first say. And like I said, LeBron's got so much. We ain't got to talk about what LeBron is. We know why he got so much say. He's LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's overrated. Ty, he's overrated. I was just like,
yes, he is.
I feel weird analyzing LeBron as if there's like anything else to analyze about him at this point. It kind of is what it is with LeBron. Like, you know what I'm saying?
If you analyze LeBron, it's kind of nitpicking because he's done more than 99% of the league has ever done. So it's
like
we know what are we doing?
Yeah, we know what we know what he is, bro. Yeah. So that's it about the Lakers.
Second best player of all time. That's what he is.
Yeah. Hey, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. That's it about the Lakers. We didn't talk. We're probably not gonna talk about the Lakers till the summer from now on. They
don't deserve it. They don't deserve it.
Unless they trade Russ tomorrow or some shit like that. We probably done with LA for a minute. Playing tournament action happened. What was your favorite game so far these last couple of days?
Gotta be Timberwolves and Clippers.
Yeah.
That NBA final celebration they had up in Minnesota.
Yeah, man.
And I would just like to pat myself on the back because I predicted Anthony Edwards was go eat. Yeah. And he was gonna lead them to a victory over the Clippers. But you know, I don't want to brag on myself. I'm just saying what I said.
You bragging right now.
It was almost,
a little bit.
Almost like they it was kind of like don't let Cat beat us. You know what I mean? It was kind of like let other guys. Like it was kind of like we'll make Anthony Edwards prove himself tonight. You know, because they blitzed Cat every single play. You know what I mean?
What did you say about Cat in that chat earlier?
He's getting that whole game but that's him speaks to a lot. So I'm gonna give them their props first. I'm gonna criticize him, and it's what I said about him is gonna speak a lot about the Timberwolves going into the playoffs. But like I said, that game it felt like they blitzed Cat every play. They totally took him out the game. He fouled out maybe by the early fourth quarter, maybe.
Yep. This is what happens when you're just a big man like he is. He's too big to just be. He's a great shooter, but he's too big just to be shooting threes and everything like that all the time. He should be able to go down low, and he can't.
Yeah,
he's not strong enough.
Yeah, double teamed him, blitzed him, and then when you got frustrated with that, a lot of offensive fouls, then the bad defensive decisions he made that led him to foul out. You know, I mean, there were plays where I remember he got fronted like he was at the free throw line. He was guarded one-on-one. They were kind of walling up against him, but he was guarded one-on-one. I'm like, bro, take that. And he's like, not. So I got my criticism for Cat. All that to say that it looked like let's make sure Cat doesn't beat us, and let's kind of make these other guys step up and play. And Anthony Edwards did just that. He was amazing offensively in that second half. Even in the first half, he was going off. You know, showed off the full offensive bag, made some game-sealing plays. Pat, great defensively, made the huge steal late in the game. You got to love what the Timberwolves did. You know, defensively, they really tightened it up in that second half. And then that was kind of what they hung their hat on early in the season was their defense. They kind of fell off a little bit, but they showed it off in that second half against the Clippers, and they got that big win. It makes you also kind of realize how great that atmosphere is for that team. You know, like they were going, that hometown was going crazy for them. So
I guess we forgot how because once it's very few. They've had very few good or great teams over the last 20 years. I think by the time we've been alive the last 20 years, they only had like one or two.
Yeah.
But you forget how great their fans are. That's a great fan base when they're good. And because they even been coming to the game, games when they suck, like the Kings fans. They've been sucking this long, but you always see there's people there in the arena.
Fact.
I don't know why.
They loyal.
Loyal. Very loyal. Shout out to Edwards. He was going in. Pat Bev got fined. Remember they went on IG Live after the game and he was cussing him out.
Man, I don't care. I don't care. I like saying I'm liking Pat Bev now. That was funny to me.
That was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
He was crying, bro.
I think I was kind of looking at like, why is bro crying? But then I was like, okay, I guess the emotions and then how they kind of had to fight back, you know, from being like they ended up fighting back to becoming a 7 seed. So
it's not even that. It's the fact that they got the Clippers got rid of him and he beat him. That's what you like that in life when somebody like beat you, but you get, you know, go to a different team, whatever, and you beat them. That feel good. But I don't know if I would cry over that, but I don't know. It was a happy cry, so it wasn't like a bad one.
Great stuff all around. 30.
I thought you was gonna call him soft, Karl.
He Patrick Beverly, everybody's scared of him, man. I want to about him. And for other reasons. He's easy to look at, but I don't want to talk about him. Yeah. But Anthony Edwards, I'm pretty sure he was 5'11" from 3. Did he? And I think he had like 28 or 30 points.
Yeah, 30.
28.
Okay, he had 30 points, but let's talk about D'Lo though, because D'Lo was cooking.
Shows you how many weapons this team has. Even Malik Beasley, we talked about like who are those weapons going to be?
The legend himself.
Yeah, like we talked about how great those pieces are going to be around that, you know, those main 3 guys. Beasley was great off the bench, made some huge shots. You know, as we mentioned, Bev did what he did defensively. Jared Vanderbilt came in and made a couple of, you know, big plays. Didn't score a lot at all. Pretty much he had 3 points, but he did kind of some of the things you wanted him to do out there. So you love to see it. You know, there's some McDaniels could have been a little bit better. He blew a lot of finishes around the basket and all of that, but there were bright spots. You love to see the all-around contribution, and we know they can get even more moving forward. Now, talk about Cat. Karl, you mentioned the fouling out, the complaining, and this whole team did a lot of complaining. That kind of spoke a little bit. You got to get that right before the playoffs. You just have to. That's going to hit you and that hurt you. It's going to bite you in the ass in a playoff series big time if you can't get right. You know, when it comes to how you're reacting to foul calls, reacting to double teams and all of that. It was so easy to take Cat out of that game. It was ridiculous. You know what I mean? That we saw that game why Cat isn't on the level of a Joel Embiid or a Jokic, you know, or some of the other big guys. It was just way too easy to take him out, and he just did not know how to react to it. Yeah. You know?
He's been in the league way too long, and he's been in the league 5 to 6 years, probably 7. Let's be honest. Probably 5 or 6 or 7, whatever.
I think about 6 now, because he was 2016.
He came when we were freshmen. Yep, in high school.
So his next season is gonna be 7 years. So he's been in the league way too long to kind of act.
That's almost a decade.
Yeah, to kind of act immature like he was acting in that game, crying about every single thing. Every time they showed the screen on TNT, he was crying.
It was so, I'm not even trying to be funny. It was annoying as hell. Like, bro, sit down. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, oh God, I kept on thinking about that clip when he was like, stats.
Look. I ain't trying to get these stats. I'm trying to win.
Yeah, I was like, what he said. I'm starting to not. Cat is, as a person, he's a great dude, but as a player, he's becoming one of the more annoying guys in the NBA to me for some reason.
I think it's his voice, because you expect that dude to be that big and tall. You don't expect him to sound like that.
He got a soft voice.
Yeah, a little bit. He sounds like a cat. I don't know. I'm just saying. Yeah, he was like, stats? We talking about stats? I'm trying to win.
I was like, bro, cut that off. But yeah,
he won, so
he did.
They're gonna have a tough time against Memphis if they don't stay poised. They're poised.
Yes, they will.
Yep.
Man, I'm gonna say T-Wolves in 7. Timberwolves in 7.
That's you tripping, Karl.
I don't know.
You tripping and you falling.
Okay.
I got Grizzlies. I think if you can, I think. Because somebody was like, who's going to slow down Cat? I said, like they said, JJ can't guard Cat. I don't know Cat's stats on JJ this season, but I know Jaren Jackson is arguably the defensive player of the year this year. So
how easy the Clippers took him out the game, they can handle Cat. I'm gonna be
honest. Without a doubt. And if you can do that and then force a young Anthony Edwards to be your best player every single night. And I'm talking like the Grizzlies are that much of a bet. Like if you line these teams up, there's not like a major talent discrepancy at all. I mean, you can argue probably Minnesota's more talented than them, but if you take Cat out of the game, it equals even things out big time. I think Jaren Jackson can do just that. I'm interested to see how Cat does defensively on Jaren Jackson, knowing his versatility and all of that. So we'll see what happens. But I think the Grizzlies obviously are going to give him a tough time if they don't stay poised, they don't stay connected. I feel like the Timberwolves are more prone to having an off night relative to Memphis, So I'm gonna take the Grizzlies in either 6 or 7 for that reason. What about you, Blake? What are you taking?
I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, who you taking, Blake?
I got the Grizzlies in 6.
Yeah,
I think when we was talking about locking down Cat, they did a pretty good job of it, and I don't think the Clippers big men are nearly. I won't say nearly as good, but I don't think they're on the same. I don't think they're as good as the Grizzlies big man.
Yeah,
especially when you got Steven Adams. Yeah, you got Steven Adams and Jaren Jackson down there too. So I think they can do a little bit of the same thing the Clippers tried to do. Is just that they had a really good performance from D'Lo and Anthony Edwards, but I don't know if they can do that. If he'll be able to carry that team the whole series.
Yeah,
especially with how good Memphis is both offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
But it'll be a very interesting series. Not to write them off or anything, but I think they'll make it interesting.
Yeah,
it'll be a good one.
Yep, my boy Anthony Edwards. I'm on the Anthony Edwards train. If you can't tell, he's going to average 25 that whole series. 25 plus. I firmly believe that because I don't know. He's just one of them dudes. If you can tell within the second or third year, he's going to keep going up in points per game average. I wouldn't be surprised next year if he averaged 28 points.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked. Now, will he do it because of Karl Anthony Towns? That's the tough spot. That's the tough thing to judge. But I think he at least probably averaged 25 plus next year.
Without a doubt.
I feel confident saying that.
Yeah. I think the defensive schemes are going to be interesting the whole series. Blake, you mentioned it. Clippers just blitzed them. I don't think the Grizzlies are going to have to blitz them as much because I think they have better one-on-one big guy defenders. I mean, hell, bro, you can put a small physical dude on Cat and take him out of the game. You really you could put
that's so sad too.
You could put Dylan Brooks on him and Brooks can get some stops. Like he's good. He's not backing down Dylan Brooks.
He needs to. It shows that some of the dudes that might be like you said, Dylan Brooks. It shows weight room strength versus dude that really doesn't have strength.
Yeah,
because you can look at him. If he's pushing you out of the paint and you can't do anything, that means he probably lifts and you don't. I'm be honest. That's what it looks like.
Cat's live.
That's crazy. That's crazy. We saying that about a dude that's almost 7 foot 250.
Yeah.
But nah, he's slight build. You can tell when he plays
because Cat came back. He all right. He got a lift, but Cat don't back nobody down like you were saying. He can't back nobody down.
Hey, when you remember when he tried to back Marcus Cousins down, and that was a meme.
Yeah, like it was like he was struggling. I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
But Boogie a big dude though.
That's true.
I'll give him credit. Boogie a big dude.
But he can't back anybody down. Like I've never really seen him. He struggles with it.
He couldn't back down. I saw Morris guard him. He couldn't back him down. I saw a guard check him a little bit at the free throw line. He couldn't back him down. I don't know what is up with him. So I don't know.
If his shot's not on, you can completely take him out the game. You can treat him like a true point guard that shoots a lot.
Yeah. And you can it's crazy to say. And it's like if you got versatile enough, quick enough defenders, you make them put the ball on the floor, you can take them out. Like Jaren Jackson, if Jaren Jackson runs him off the 3-point line, he's quick enough to recover and stop him from coming off the dribble on him. You know what I'm saying?
Jaren Jackson can move, whereas Cat can move for his size, but I don't think he's as fast as Jaren Jackson.
He can get cut off by Jaren Jackson easily on defense, easily. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested to see how the series goes, and I think it's going to be one of the more entertaining ones, without a doubt. We got some great first round matchups. But yeah, I'm gonna go Grizzlies in 6 or 7. Most important player for Memphis that series. Who y'all saying it is?
Good question. Jaren Jackson.
Yep.
I am.
Yep.
He's going to be the difference maker.
Yep, I agree.
I say the same. I think Jaren Jackson. Well, I think you'll probably have a trio of those. I think Jaren Jackson and Steven Adams probably defensively.
Yeah.
They'll be on what's his name?
Probably for Timberwolves. I think it's D'Lo actually for the Timberwolves.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah,
D'Lo's been a bit quiet. He was quiet. I won't say he was quiet, but he kind of.
He had an iffy year, you know what I mean? He had some great ones, but then, just kind of, but I agree, I don't want them to rely totally on a super young Anthony Edwards to be the best guy, to be Superman this whole series. And like I said, he could do it against a Grizzlies team because it's not like they're matched up against like the Warriors or something in the first round. You know what I'm saying? But if Edwards is going to have those off nights or whatever, D'Lo is going to have to be the guy to step up. He's going to have to be the dude to kind of weather the storm a little bit. Being that point guard, combo guard type of player. He's going to be very, very important. I'm glad he had that 29-point game that a lot of people really didn't talk about. He had that in the play-in, so we'll see what happens moving forward. But I think D'Lo is going to be very important for Minnesota. Obviously, you'd love to see great stuff out of Cat. You need to see him play well. But I think D'Lo.
I was just about to say Cat is probably going to be important too.
Yeah. No more crying, Cat.
Please
look it up. No more. It was so crying.
Bad. So bad.
I was going to ask you all this though because I was trying to figure it out. Who would you all compare Anthony Edwards to? Like, who does he play like? Because I kind of see. Might sound crazy. I kind of see. I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan, but I kind of see explosiveness like Michael Jordan. But I also see
they look alike.
Offensive. Yeah. He has explosiveness. I don't know if they look alike. Well, maybe they do.
It's a picture on Twitter where they got both of their faces.
They have,
like,
half the face. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
and they actually do look like they look just alike almost.
He has explosiveness like Michael Jordan, and he has that like kind of post strength in the post like a guard, like a strong guard in the post too. So I don't know. Michael Jordan actually said he plays like him too. So that's maybe where I got that from.
I mean, I don't know this dude.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Yeah, he got better. I mean, Jordan is tough because Jordan never had that out. Jordan just didn't have. He had it, but he didn't have that super polish outside of the 3-point line game. He just didn't. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I would say there's not really a guy like him. He's kind of he's
different.
He's different. It is weird because his game's not super complex. He's really good outside his only issue is he can fall into being a volume shooter, and he's not that great of a playmaker right now. But on the scoring end, he can do a lot. Not super polished in the mid-range area, so that's why I wouldn't give the Jordan comparisons. But he's great outside the 3-point line, knows how to get his shot off, can beat you up the dribble. He's athletic. There are guys like him. I just can't figure out who it is. But it's not like he has a super complex game to where there's been nobody like him in NBA history,
Because he's like 6'5", but he's strong like a 6'10" player, like a power.
That's a big dude. He like what I think he go about 6'5", 225, 230.
220. That's big. That's big. That's big for probably 6'5" person.
Did he play just
like on it? Probably. He probably played all sports. Remember, he said he can play anything.
Yeah, he said he can play anything. Yep.
Look, he actually said tennis, swimming. What did he say? He said hockey. He said paper basketball, anything. Just give it to me. I'm gonna win. That's what he said. I think he's serious too.
Yeah.
I'd say I'll take a dude like that on my team. That kind of mentality, boy.
Yeah,
dude, hilarious. Dude is hilarious.
So I remember that Benihana story. They said where he brought his own gumbo and spilled it all over the table at Ben. Dog. I don't know if that's true or not, but that story was hilarious.
It was funny. But it's funny. Like we talked about this a couple months ago. Like, remember how he came into the NBA and people were kind of like questioning his passion. With the game, and then now you just look at him and he looks like he's ready to become a leader any second. Like, you know what I mean? A big series here against Memphis, win or lose, is going to totally change the trajectory of how people look at him. He already stepped into wanting to be that type of guy this season. You hear the practice clips and all of that, and that may have always been true with them, but the media can come up with these narratives and make them about a player. And then it's kind of hard to go against, but it's funny how what the narrative was about him a couple years back, and to see what it is now. So shout out to him.
If they see in this series, say they miraculously the Timberwolves win it, right, and Anthony Edwards is their best player, they'll look to trade Karl Anthony Towns. I promise you that. Yeah, I think because they've been with him so long, but I don't know. Well, maybe if they lose it, then I don't think him getting traded in the offseason, I don't think that's a crazy thing for him to think of.
Would they do it after getting to the second round, though?
I don't know about that.
Maybe if they lose, then. Yeah. Maybe if they lose, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Because he's been on the team for so long, and they haven't really gone anywhere with him. Once you start thinking about that, do you think, okay, maybe we should move a different direction from him and build around Anthony Edwards rather than
or keep building around what you've already got? I think the only thing Minnesota needs to do is build around that trio of D'Lo and Cat and Anthony Edwards. You know what I'm saying? Now I can see it.
I was just about to say that same thing.
Yeah, I think that's what it's more about than moving him or Cat away. There may be it now. If Cat has a suckish series and they lose in the first round, then we're gonna hear that. But you know what I mean? That's we're gonna start hearing that trade Cat shit. and it may not happen, but I do think what Minnesota's going to look to do moving forward is to just keep building around, those three guys. And I also think, I'm not sure where they're at as far as cap space. I don't know who they can go out there and sign, but I think priority is to build around that trio. They're still decent, and they're still decent from an age standpoint. I mean, Cat's post 25, D'Lo's got to be post 25 too. Anthony Edwards is young, but they're good enough to just build off what they've already got. It isn't danger time to where we think Cat's career is getting wasted, or we think, D'Lo's career is getting wasted or whatever. I feel like D'Lo's more at home than he's ever been, on this Minnesota team. So we'll see what happens. But if he has a sucker series, then we're going to get into the trade Cat talk without a doubt. But I don't know if they get past the first round and they get in the second round, because that happens, they exceeded expectations, and there's no way any of those three guys are getting traded, in my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, but they get past the first round. They've exceeded. They've done everything they need to do this season. So, yeah. Because nobody projected them to be this good at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they weren't even – the Timberwolves weren't even that good until really post-All-Star break. That's when they start flying off. Because remember, for a while, their record was they were teetering as a sub-500 team, and they were hanging around that 10th and 9th seed the whole season. And then before we know it, they won 10 out of 13 games, and then that's when they kind of took off.
Did they get off to a good
That's why
No, they got off to an iffy start. They were hovering around 500 for a while.
That's why I think like when we talk about like if this doesn't work, trading Cat, this team is they've shown the second half of the season, and they're showing now that they have the ability to come together and win games, win meaningful games, and actually get to the playoffs. So I think even if they lose first round, even if they advance to the second round, I still think you keep what you have now, and at least build some more around what you got, develop more chemistry with your guys, because you've got a very talented team. Very talented team.
Yep. They basically replaced from last year playoff team. They basically replaced, I mean, you can say the Lakers, but they basically replaced the Trailblazers in a way, as far as playoff spots go.
Yeah.
Because I think, the Trailblazers was one of them lower seeded teams.
Yeah.
Who else? Lakers. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Dope team. And I think you just also rely on Cat getting better at certain things. You're a big guy. You've got to be ready to get better at double teams. Jokic you can't double team him. You can't double team Joel Embiid. If you're a big guy and you're dominant, you got to be able to get past that. So rely on his development, which is crazy to say for a dude who's already a fucking all-star twice in his career. But,
That's why I was talking. I mean, that's why I was thinking about trading him. He's been on the team for 6 years. So I'm just when are you going to, I don't know. Yeah, I would give it, maybe I give it a couple more years, but then it's going to be I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd rather do it early. I'd rather do it earlier than rather than doing it too late. Yeah. I'll just say that.
That's true.
I think because my thing with Cat with them was it never was about just him. It was about getting the right people around Cat. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always thought it was. That's why it was never he's been here for this long, and they've just done. It's always figuring out what, think about it. They moved away Andrew Wiggins before they moved him away. So it was always about what can we do around Cat. You know what I mean? And so now they kind of have something. I don't think they're going to want to move him in a minute.
And Wiggins was there longer. So
they did, but you have to ask yourself this: will it be easy to build around Cat or build around Anthony Edwards?
Why do you have to exclude one of them though?
I don't know because I don't know because he's been there for a while and then nothing's happened. So I don't know. And you keep trading these other players. Maybe Karl Anthony Towns isn't the person to be building around in. That's what I think that's a fair question.
I get what you're saying, Karl, but still, this is Anthony Edwards' second season. It's only this is only their second season all playing together.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I said you can give it, I guess, a couple more years.
I think once, like I said, just building chemistry with the guys and all that, just keep building good business. They have a decent young core coming off the bench. At least I think it's all right. It could be better, but I think once you build more around that's your big three.
Yeah,
you invest in that big three. That's your big three. So once you start building around them, team taking shape, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, because like I said, my thing with him over the 6 years, like I said, it never was about it's not getting better. It just was about they never found the right supporting cast for him. Just a bunch of BS happened, weird coaching situations. So they get rid of the Levine Wiggins thing, and now they get the Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell thing. So. Now, like I said, give it a couple years. We'll see what happens. But I agree. There is a world where over the offseason we're going to start talking about trading Cat. But I think it's too early in this entire what they have right now, especially when they're making this major playoff push, for them to consider trading Cat. After this season, I'd be very surprised if he ends up in those conversations. Even if they lose in the first round, I think it'd be kind of premature for them to start having those conversations about him. But I'm not a fan of the way he's been playing. He played the other night at all, and he's a Kentucky guy, and he's probably the best player we've had in the last, maybe would you say it's the best player we've had in the last 5, 6, whatever, how many years? Maybe I can't say 5 years.
I think De'Aaron and Anthony Davis may have something to say about that. Not
De'Aaron, maybe Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
let me see. I don't know, because De'Aaron Fox was nice that year he was there.
I say this though,
I think John Wall too, maybe.
DeMarcus Cousins.
What are we going by as far as like
DeMarcus? Come on now.
Yeah, are we talking about the better Kentucky play? Who are the better Kentucky when the guys when they're at Kentucky?
I get, yeah.
No, I was talking about pros.
What you said? What you say, Karl? You said talking about what?
I thought I was talking about pros. I didn't know if you all were talking about Kentucky.
Oh no! Well, I was saying like Kentucky wise, like who was the best at Kentucky? I know Ty said he was probably their best player they've had in a while. That's what I was saying.
I think Karl-Anthony Towns was,
because he was on the undefeated team. I'm eliminating Wall from that conversation because they lost hell early in tournament. Fox has an argument because that was the best backcourt hit. That was the best backcourt in college basketball I've ever seen in my life. Him and Malik Monk. But
and that post game was great.
That was funny. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, but it's going to be a fun series to watch for sure. So yeah. What other playing games we had? We had Hawks Hornets. So there's that.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Yeah. Them getting blown, the Hornets getting blown out like that back-to-back years has me questioning, am I overhyping LaMelo Ball?
Yeah. I mean, was it just about LaMelo?
I don't think it was about Melo, because Melo did his thing.
Did he? I don't think he did.
He did all right, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I expect too much out of him a little bit just based off his talent. I don't know.
When they lose, I'm not gonna just put it on just one guy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not, but I thought
that is still a kind of young team.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I just thought he was like one of the best, or if not the best, one of the young players at his age. But I'm kind of drawing back from that because, like I said, me and was talking about. I think Darius Garland is better than him. I think Anthony Edwards is. What's another young player? I
don't know about Garland, but I think Anthony Edwards for sure.
I think Darius Garland's better than Melo.
He can definitely shoot better. He can shoot better.
I think he's more positive. I mean, they're very great play. They're both great players. But yeah, LaMelo had 26 points, 5 and 8 assists. No,
he did.
Yeah, he was shooting tour dates. He was shooting tour days though. Like he's 7 for 25, 4 for 14. But
that don't count then.
He said he was doing what time?
He was shooting tour dates.
Yeah, no, that's
okay.
That 26 points is boo-boo then. You
4 for 14. It was a bad night, but then again, Bridges was their leading scorer. He averaged 12, or he had 12 that night. You only got 3 points out of your big guy. Terry Rozier scored 21 points on 8 for 22, which isn't horrible, but still. And you didn't get a ton out of you. Got some stuff out of Montrezl. But fact of the matter is this team is different if they have Gordon Hayward. In the last couple of years, they didn't have Gordon Hayward in the play-in. Point blank period. So,
yeah. So we talk about –
damn.
We talk about –
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad, Karl. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say, geez, Gordon Hayward's making $35 million.
Yeah. And he's worth it if he's healthy. He's definitely worth it if he's healthy.
I wouldn't pay him that.
I would. I mean,
because first he has a health problem. He's not over these last couple of years. He hasn't been healthy.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one of the reasons why I wouldn't pay him that. But Mike couldn't get no other type of free agent, so that's the best he could actually do.
Oh, here we go.
No, it is because who wants to come to Charlotte in free agency?
This team's different if he was there though, for sure. And so I want to give him that. Because he's a good defender. He's a good bailout guy for sure. You know what I'm saying? That's another dude who can get 20. People forget how cold Gordon Hayward was, man, like when he was in Utah, especially like his last couple of years there. But they lost, and then there are a couple things they need to get better. Obviously, I thought I was more hopeful that Atlanta would have a good defensive game than they would. And Atlanta was horrible defensively this season, but Charlotte was probably worse. And I was kind of like, okay, which one of the bad defensive teams is going to come out here and actually go out there and get stops? And Atlanta was that bad defense team that went out there and did it that night. And to me, that was the difference. And you got to get better defensively if you want to be able to win. Like, even if they would have, advanced, would have had to go face a team like Cleveland. Would they have beaten them? Or let's say perfect world, they go get to the playoffs, Still, you don't play defense, you're not going to win a game. Simple as that. You're going to get swept if you're like I can't think of a team in any conference who just was not good defensively that got out of the first round. I could be wrong. Somebody can go name them, maybe, but and for them to be that young too, like if you're bad defensively and you're really young, you're not doing shit. So that was my issue with them the whole year. I like the guys they have. I'm a big fan of the Rozier and LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges perimeter attack, but if you're not defending, you ain't doing shit. Point blank, period. So that's is what it is. And if guys are volume shooters in big games, you're gonna lose. So
I like I don't know. I like Terry Rozier he didn't have a terrible game, but I like that he had a little bad game. So that kind of get us going to trade Russ and we can get him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we're trying to fool the Hornets because he want to be in La La Land. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Saying too, damn, the Hornets need Russ now. You know what I'm saying? No, I think they just need to get, I mean, you think though, picking up Kelly Oubre in the offseason would make him better defensively. You think so? That didn't really
he was hurt. Was he hurt? Did he play?
He played. Yeah, he played.
Okay.
Just
I knew he was hurt
from on that end. Just a lot of like Plumlee's an okay defender. They have they're not really strong on that end, especially that whole perimeter. I mean, Terry Rozier's okay, but it's it's just not a great team defense,
They have a lot of good players, but not they need that. I don't know what they need.
They need a whole lot of something.
Need to get a reliable pick and roll big guy. I like Plumlee's game, but I think playing pick and roll and having that attack, you can do it a little bit with Plumlee. Harrell's not a guy you can do it with a ton because he's like a little undersized. Investing in that big guy would be great. Investing in better defenders, individual defenders would be a great idea for them. They should be solid. I'm not expecting them to bring in a major dude in the offseason. You said what?
Christian Wood.
I like that. I'm a fan of Christian Wood. He gives you a lot of versatility. And you can go.
I saw that on Twitter.
Think about the floor space. And think about his verse. There's not a lot of bigs who can go pick and roll and go stretch out and knock down shots and can attack off the dribble from the outside in. You know what I mean? It's either two things. And, it's never those three things at the same time with a lot of bigs in the NBA today or power forwards. So, just get better defensively, get some size down there. And they should be fine. But I do think that they missed Hayward a lot. I think the outcome would have been different. I think their season would have been different if he was there. So I'll give them that. I'll cut him that slack.
No, I agree. He's definitely still a good player. I don't know if I would pay him what I pay him, but he still would have made a difference in that game for sure.
Yeah. Karl don't want to. Karl. Hard on him.
No, some people out of 35 million is a lot.
Yeah,
especially me. So I'm touchy or picky with who I want to give that to. If I was an owner or something. I don't know.
Who paid him 35? Charlotte did.
That boy Karl.
Yeah, she's at least making 30 million with him.
Stingy.
Yeah, no, he's at least making 30 million with him.
Yeah, very valuable player if he's healthy. That just is what it is. Yeah. But I agree, the health has been so it's like literally been a reason why they couldn't get nowhere the last couple of years.
Ever since he's had that horrendous injury with the Celtics, it's been a health issue. He's never had one before that. Like he was always healthy. One injury can really derail somebody's career in sports. We've seen that a lot.
Yep. Even if it's different parts of the body too. Like I feel like if you get one,
that's what happened with Anthony Davis. We knew he was hurt. He was hurt, like injury prone. But it's like last year, it was always an elbow, a face, cheek, a cheek. I don't know, a chin, a tooth.
Yeah.
Nose, I don't know. Some other leg, left leg, right leg, left ankle, right ankle, his hip,
his finger, his toe, his foot,
his clavicle bone start hurting. I don't know, but no, I wanted to get you all opinions. We were talking about the Hornets and we were talking about the Hawks beating them. How do you think the Hawks versus the Cavs game is going to play out?
It's going to be very interesting.
Hawks taking that one. I think the Hawks taking that one. No bias, of course. No bias, but I think the Hawks taking that one.
What do you think, Ty?
If Jared Allen's there, then I think the Cavs are winning.
He's not at 100% though, I don't think.
He's iffy. He said he's 50-50 on coming back, so we'll be on standby with it. If he's there, you're talking about limiting the pick and roll big time. And when you limit the pick and roll, now there's no John Collins to kind of bail you out in some of those plays. You know what I'm saying? On Cleveland's end, you have two all defensive players if Jared Allen is back and healthy, and Evan Mobley and him in the inside, and they're so versatile on that end. It's going to be hard to score against them. So I think Atlanta could be prone against a tough defense like this that can match up. You think about also Cleveland kept it pretty. I mean, they made it competitive in the second half against the Nets team, that had a hot KD and Kyrie. So I'm going with the Cavs. I'm going with the Cavs in this one.
Even if the Cavs win, I still give Atlanta a better chance to beat Miami than the Cavs do if they were to beat the Cavs. Because when they face Miami in the first round, number 1 seed, I definitely give the Hawks a better chance to beat Miami than the Cavs. But that's a tough game, though, to pick. It really is.
Depends on Allen and me.
It does. I'm gonna keep the pick to myself. I'm not gonna pick.
Yeah.
Keep it to myself.
I feel you on that. It's
I got the Hawks, boy.
Of course you do.
I'm pick both of them. They both could win. Co-winners playing.
Yeah, man. We had that. Then we had obviously you talk about the Nets. Nets Celtics first round. It's gonna be very interesting. Ben Simmons, they say, is reportedly maybe ready to come back game 4. We'll see. Because last time they said he could come back first round, Steve Nash came back and said, I don't know when he's going to come. So we'll see what happens with
How did he say it?
I don't know when he's going to come. So he don't talk nothing like that. I don't know why I did it.
That's what I'm saying. You sound like dude off Boombox. Go ahead.
But so yeah, we'll see what it is. But it's going to be it's going to be a very, very interesting series. I don't think Boston is doing much defensively against. We talk about matching up. You're not doing anything to stop KD and Kyrie. I mean, I'm thinking the smart Kyrie thing is going to be interesting. And we've seen some individual defenders have to do a good job on. We saw Kyrie get clamped by Drew Holiday this season. And if you get Ben Simmons back, if you throw him on KD, we'll see how that fares out. But it'll be interesting seeing the defensive things Boston does in that series to try to slow down Kyrie and KD.
Kyrie, I noticed this. Kyrie can play some defense when he wants to.
He can. He did it against
he can play some. He pretty active. He didn't did it against Steph before in the final. I think people forget about that. But for what's impressive to me, I don't know if this is impressive for you all, for him to go through like the Ramadan fasting and drop the points he did with no food and shit.
Facts.
That's I don't know how he did that.
Cold shit.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Kyrie. Yeah. And he won't need to play much defense this series too. Like, you know what I mean? There's no one he's going to have to go out there and check. So you can get a good offensive output from him. He's not putting all the energy out there. But I think it's going to be one of those things where you kind of force Brooklyn's role players to step up, So you question what you're going to get out of a Patty Mills. You're going to get out of this little weird shooting slump he's been in. What are you going to get out of? We saw Bruce Brown, who has been amazing out of double teams and being able to make those middle. I call them the middle of the court plays. When you get the ball in the paint area, you get the ball out of double teams. He is so good. He does that Draymond Green type of thing where he can make that pass, to the corner, make that lob pass to get to a guy in the dunker spot. He can get that floater to go in. He's really solid on the wing as far as 3-point shooting goes. Karl Mitch, he's kind of like a better, more athletic version of PJ Tucker, with how he can defend multiple spots. Now he plays kind of a non-positional dude. So it's good. It's going to come down to what Brooklyn can get outside of KD and Kyrie. I think those two guys should be good enough to carry them, that series. But again, you want as much insurance as possible. Guys are going to have to step up. Mills going to have to shoot it well. All of those dudes are going to have to step it up big time. If you get Ben Simmons back, there's that question of what you're going to get from him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Ben Simmons doesn't have to even do anything besides play defense if he comes back. I'm going to be honest. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just play defense and don't fuck. I mean, no, I'm not going to say that. Don't mess up. I ain't want to say that. But don't mess up.
If you throw him on a Tatum or a Jaylen Brown, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, so
that'll at least slow. You put a body on him. Yeah, it'll make it difficult.
No, St. Louis bound. Jason Tatum tearing his butt up.
Yeah,
St. Louis got to rep him.
We'll see what happens. It'd be interesting if he ends up going out there and checking him. But
he probably won't. I doubt it.
Yeah,
he probably ain't. I'm be honest. I don't think he gonna play.
You don't think so? I think
it's too much bull. It's too much BS, bro. That be involving with him saying he go play, he not go play. I believe him when I see it. I put it like that.
Yeah, but I think it's going to come down. Like I said, just going to come for Brooklyn. Is going to come down to what those guys outside of KD and Kyrie do. And I think Simmons' presence is going to be. Obviously going to be a major plus. Anytime you can get a guy like that on a team that's been that sorry defensively, it's going to help you out a ton. So. Moses texted me about this. He was like, "What do you guys?" Yeah. He's like, "What do you guys?" He's like, "What do you?" He said, "But who's like? How hard is it going to be for Simmons to get back in the lineup? And what are you going to do with them?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that complex. I feel like offensively, if you can convince Simmons that he's not an all-star and just have him kind of play a minimal role on offense, then you're going to be fine. You know what I'm saying?"
I'm surprised Moses even knew Ben Simmons played with the Nets.
Moses knows his shit. Shout out to Moses. Moses knows his shit a little bit.
He do, but he does. But yeah, I don't know. I want to wait and see if he plays. I really don't know. Even though they say he is, I don't know. But how to kind of piggy off the question, the answer they were saying he was going to come at game 4, right?
Yeah.
It was that. How many games do you think this series is going to go? Boston versus the Nets. Boston versus Brooklyn.
7 or 6, no less. No, I'd be very surprised. Yeah,
I agree.
Blake,
what about you?
I say 7.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be surprised if
I think 7. Yeah. I think 7. These are 2 pretty evenly matched teams. I think, nobody's so much better than the other to where sway my mind. I think it's like, this is a sweep, gentleman's sweep. I think this is gonna go to 7.
Yeah.
At the very least.
I don't know. Like dude said, we was talking to the other night on Green Room. Shout out to him. What was y'all remember his name?
Big Deuce.
Big Deuce on Green Room. He think the Celtics go get revenge on the Nets from last year from them knocking them out.
This is their chance to do it. This is definitely their chance to do it. Yeah. So it's gonna be fun to watch. I really want to see Tatum take advantage of the point that Simmons isn't going to be there in those first couple of games. You know what I'm saying? This is Tatum's series to have. I feel like for him to prove I'm this super. Well, we all know what he is in the regular season, but he hasn't had that playoff moment just yet. He's got experience and he's been past the first round and all of that shit kind of as the best guy, but he hasn't proven that he's the dude on a play. He hasn't had that absolute playoff moment just yet individually. He's a great player, but he hasn't had the name a guy who had that moment already. Like he hasn't had the I own this shit playoff moment just yet. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't had it. We haven't seen him. So this is his playoff season. And I hope he can be. I hope he can do it. Also I look at some advanced stuff right here. Brooklyn is relatively. Let me make sure I got the numbers right. Brooklyn is relatively a better team in the fourth quarter offensively. So there's that entire thing. So
they should be.
Right. Defensively also, they're better than Boston in the fourth quarter in clutch situations. So you can kind of take those things into account. So we can take those numbers and do with them what we want to, but going to be very interesting, going to be very entertaining to watch those guys battle it out in round 1. So we'll see what happens with it. What other round 1 matchup? Are those only 2 that were already set up?
Yeah, basically besides the other obvious with the middle seed people.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. It's gonna be a fun playoffs, bro. I really, it's gonna be like I think about it, like the Minnesota crowd when they finally get to playing there is gonna be very fun watching them. You think about some of the potential matchups we can get, like the point that we could possibly get that Sixers Nets thing, and Simmons is actually gonna be there. That's so fucking insane. We remember how that game was bad early in the regular season when they played, but the atmosphere was off the chain. So that's the thing is the playoff atmosphere wasn't really off the chain last year, even though everybody was back in the arenas. This year is kind of like it's officially back. Like you know what I'm saying?
Bringing us back to 2018 when we was used to seeing basketball, and kind of 2019 when the crowd made the
2019
game.
that Nets Sixers series.
Woo! Yep.
Damn, what he said? The Nets. What he say?
The Nets Sixers series. Jared Dudley squaring up with Ben Simmons,
putting his hands up at half court like he was doing something.
I was watching. I was like, what is
that? Was weird.
That was hella weird. He didn't score.
We actually forgot to talk about the other playing game, the Clippers versus the Pelicans. How you think that game is going to play out?
Oh yeah, damn. They did. Charlie asked me about that game.
The Clippers should win that game fairly easily.
Yeah.
And if Paul George, I don't know, flames out that game, I don't know how I'm going to feel about Paul George. But I'm
gonna give PG's credit. He was balling. He's balling in that Timberwolves game. So I think he'll be fine. I'm gonna
go in this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Clipper. I don't think the Pels did a great job defensively. Let's give them credit. Herb Jones, especially, that dude was special against DeJounte Murray in that game. He was off the chain.
Alabama.
Yeah, he's an Alabama guy, but they're not. Yeah,
he rolled Tide.
Yep.
Okay.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
But they're not doing that again. I doubt the Clippers dropped 2 in a row with how great how solid they've been in the regular season, and they've got great morale. They dropped 2 in a row. That means they literally fucked off the postseason.
Now what happened if Herb Jones lock up PG?
Herb, then I don't know what to say. Like if they drop 2 in a row, that's ridiculous. Like you had a playoff spot basically. All you had to do was win one, and you dropped 2 in a row. I doubt that's gonna.
That's why I don't like that, bro. Even if they would lose that game, like they were like 5 or 6 or 7 games ahead of the 10 seed or 9 seed or whatever, and they don't make the playoffs. That's the only problem I have with that. Yeah. I have technical issues with the play-in format. Yeah. It's fun to watch, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But those technical things as far as standings and record goes, and the team could just get to the playoffs while you had a better record than them is kind of weird.
They deserve to lose. They end up dropping 2 in a row.
Yeah. You're right.
That's rad. I ain't got no excuse for that. Like, damn, you literally had all you had to do was get one.
Yeah, they gonna be right at home like us. I love to see it.
That'd be crazy.
Flippers.
I'm gonna go with them though. I'm gonna go with them. But McCollum though, man, CJ
street ball.
Wee.
When you a dude named CJ, he know what it is. You just tough like that.
Man,
you got it.
CJ was going in, and that third quarter, he's one of the best ISO dudes in the league. People forget that, bro.
I'm gonna look up his real name. It got to be like Chris or something.
Probably Clinton or something like that.
You said Clinton. Let's see. Christian. It's Christian. Good name.
Baller.
Love that name.
He was killing, like he was murdering dudes, man. It was ugly. It was goddamn. Yeah. I got Clippers in that one. They should win it. That sends them to a first round matchup against.
I'm drawing blanks. I'm drawing blanks.
Oh, they get.
I can't think about it.
It's Miami. They get Miami, not Miami. Who's the first seed?
Suns.
Yeah.
Oh God, I was thinking Miami too. I was tripping. The Suns. Oh, Suns waxing them.
But they should be able to give the Suns a competitive series. I feel like
they not though. I get what you're saying. They should be able to, but they're not.
The
Suns are they're even better than last year.
True.
So
fact.
That's a sweep. I think that's a sweep. If anything, a gentleman sweep.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be fun to watch. I can't wait for it all. And playoffs are approaching quickly. They're gonna be here Saturday, which is really crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, just Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday evening.
We probably gonna be on Green Room Saturday, maybe get some conversation going on there.
Yep. When the Timberwolves beat the Memphis Grizzlies game 1.
Yep. It's gonna be fun.
By let me say something stupid. No, not stupid. I ain't gonna say nothing stupid, but Memphis by 5 points.
Okay.
Not Memphis by 5 points. Timberwolves by 5 points.
Memphis by 100.
He said 100. You ain't even go get the shot clock. Show that. I mean, not shot the scoreboard. Show that. Right. No, that game 1. If you want to shock a team, that's always the best game to win, in my opinion. That game 1.
We've seen a game 1 loss totally suck the morale out of a team before.
Let's not talk about it. Stop. Yeah. No, stop it. They're nightmares. That's a nightmare. That's
what he said. Yep. Yeah.
But I was like the first time I'm like, y'all lost game 1. After that, it felt like there's no way y'all win anything else besides this. What I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Because, bro, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like saying rep soul games, but it kind of felt that way. Because they went back and called a charging call, blocking call a charging. Yeah. I've never heard of that happening, and it hasn't happened since. So I don't know if that's a real rule or whatever, but it is what it is. They was gonna lose a series anyway, so it was like whatever. Yeah,
they sold the hell out of that game. So anything else y'all want to talk about? I feel like this was a shorter pod, but anything else?
Let me see. Oh, this is random, but today was the 5-year anniversary. Yeah, they did. They lost. But today was the 5-year anniversary of Kendrick dropping Damn. I just want to put that out there. Shout that out.
Man, where you at, Kendrick?
Yeah. I forgot. I was gonna say it to start to break the ice, but I forgot, to be honest with you.
Where you at, Kendrick? I was, but ironically, I didn't know that. I didn't know it. And ironically, I was just walking around campus listening to it today, going from class to class. That and
no, he wasn't.
Yes, I was. I swear to God.
No.
Which is crazy. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Because then I saw you post it. I'm like, what? I didn't know because I was listening to the shit today. I'm like, wow.
Happened so fast. That shit came out when he was in high school. Yeah. That's crazy.
That is
what's y'all favorite song on there? Y'all gonna be surprised by mine.
Loyalty is nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna give love.
Todd like love. I know.
I do like love, but I'm gonna give a single. The second verse or that beat switch verse on DNA was the best verse. One of his best verses ever.
Yeah, DNA probably the best song, but my favorite song is Lust. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I like Lust.
Yes, I like the It's like
Duckworth too.
Yeah, Y'all was a funny one. Walking to the bank like
look. Yeah.
Oh, that's not that. I'm thinking of God, right? That's the
yeah. I was about to say they ain't.
That's the gospel. Yeah. That's how the lyrics.
Yeah.
His best album though is without a doubt to Pimp Butterfly. With that, like hands down.
The period of time where it came out, it just spoke words to people.
I say it's top 5 album ever.
That's what I think Mortal Man is the top 5 song ever. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that Tupac.
The interaction with Tupac seemed so real.
That shit was dope. Well, I wonder what he got coming up, man. He dropping the Family Ties verse a couple months ago. He on this shit.
He ain't got nothing coming up.
Blake was quiet the whole conversation. He don't want to talk. He don't want to say nothing.
I mentioned Kendrick the first thing.
I love Kendrick. I'm just hating.
I mentioned Kendrick the first thing he was thinking about Future better. That's what he was thinking about.
He dropping something soon, 80.
420.
April 29th.
Yep.
I won't be listening.
Yes, you will.
He gonna be dropping that mid.
Man, mid.
Both of y'all will be listening.
Yeah.
Future
I'm done listening to Future, bro. I didn't try it. I didn't at least try it.
I didn't try it, bro. I didn't gave it all I got about Future. So he just need to do collab albums, people from this point out. Because I feel like he's at his best when he's worked with other motherfuckers. Quite frankly. Because I remember the last time I listened to a Future solo song that he dropped recently that I liked.
Man. I'd rather listen to a Shaq West single over him. Shaq West is hit or miss, but he kind of cold. I ain't gonna lie.
I like Shaq West.
I thought he got dropped for Cactus Jack.
He can ball too, though. I'm like dead serious. You don't want to mess with him.
Nah.
The Cardinals play tomorrow.
You said who?
I think the Cardinals play tomorrow.
I don't give a damn about baseball.
I don't care about no baseball this early in the season. They ain't doing nothing but swinging and missing. I don't care about that.
Yeah, y'all. That does it for this pod. We'll see you guys on Sunday after the first couple of playoff games are over with. And like I said, we're gonna be on Green Room Saturday night talking that shit about the playoffs. We may get a surprise guest appearance from Moses because he's gonna be down in Mizzou. So we may have it.
I forgot about that.
So you know what I'm saying? So we may
when we post that link, y'all gotta click it. Y'all want some laughs.
I know y'all need to hear this because Moses is a character.
Yeah, y'all might enjoy that.
That boy different.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, y'all. Download, subscribe to the channel, get us a 350. We're 10 away from that, and we're gonna see you guys on Sunday evening with another episode.
Sirski.